already week 17 in the NFL. Can you believe it? I can't. Packers at Bears. The Packers are 12-3, looking to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC, while the Bears at 8-7, looking to get into the playoffs. If they win, they're in. I'm Alex Strofe alongside Todd Varney and Jimmy Christensen for the pre-snap on Game On Wisconsin. We're going to have ourselves some fun. Hope you can join along with us for the next hour as we preview the Packers and the Bears. Let's go.
We 19. We 19. This is the gun. Hey, Rex. Yeah. We 19. We 19. Check New York Bozo! New York Bozo! New York Bozo!
How we doing? Happy Sunday, week 17 in the NFL already. And we're going to end it with a bang as the Packers at 12-3 look to clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Bears, on the other hand, looking to get into the playoffs with a win as they stand at 8-7. How you doing, everybody? Welcome in. This is the pre-snap presented by GameOnWisconsin.com. My name's Alex Strofe. You can connect with me on Twitter at Alex_Strofe. Breaking down this one for the next hour along my compadres, my brothers, my friends, the stinky Todd Varney at the Todd V on Twitter. Hey, Todd, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm ready. We were talking beforehand. 38-7 or 38-17, not enough. I think it's going to be more than that. I'm definitely overconfident today.
Overconfident is totally fine with me. Jimmy with us as well. He's back from Florida. He's sick again. We don't know what the hell's going on in Milwaukee.
I got a cold, man. I go from 70-degree weather to 2 snowstorms. I just got a little cold, a little under.
Got a little cold, a little chilly. Yeah. Got the little sniffles. Aren't you adorable? At Jimmy_C08 on Twitter to find Jimmy.
Jimmy, you look worse than you feel, if that helps.
Oh, thanks, man. That's really helpful. Yeah, thank you so much.
That's accurate. So let's dive into this one, shall we? As the Packers head to Chicago to take on the 8-7 Bears. Again, if the Bears win, they are in. If the Packers win, they clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs for the first time since 2011. And, this storyline comes up, it seems, at the end of every year. Aaron Rodgers has never played an NFC championship game in Lambeau Field. They've only been able to clinch home field advantage once back in 2011, but they lost in the second round, didn't get to the NFC championship game. So this might be the year where Aaron Rodgers is playing like the MVP of the league. And a lot riding on this game. But Todd, let's go where you wanted to go. You said you're overconfident after last week's Sunday night performance against Tennessee. They played great. You expect the offense, even without David Bakhtiari, to put up 40-plus points?
Bakhtiari's not playing?
Shut up, Todd.
Just kidding. Yeah, I think, there's plenty of depth across the front. Obviously, not having Bakhtiari is going to hurt us. But I don't think it's going to be as critical. The line, there's just depth there. They're good across. They've got guys that can move around. We've seen Billy Turner move around. We've seen Elton Jenkins do it. So I'm not overly concerned on that end. As far as the defense goes, Tennessee had a better quarterback, better wide receivers, and a better running back, and just happened to be the top scoring team in the NFL. And we held them to 14 points last week. So I'm not concerned about shutting down David Montgomery, shutting down Allen Robinson, and just having a field day off of Mitchell Trubisky. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and Mitchell Trubisky, really, if we look at it this way, it's kind of saved Matt Nagy's job, it seems, which, great. 4 more years of Trubisky, please. Jimmy, I don't even know where to pose this. Bears offense, are the expectations low, or do you expect them to somewhat compete? Because I still don't really know where I'm at with this game.
I think my expectations are always low in Mitch Trubisky's quarterback. I'm not going to lie. So,
that's fair.
I know he's more – I'm more worried with Trubisky. I said this last time we played the Bears. I'm more worried with Trubisky than I am with Nick Foles just because of the fact Trubisky's mobile. And he's been playing decently well, but I think we've seen him against the Packers before. He'll make a couple good plays where we're like, oh, okay, he's not bad, and then he'll just throw an interception right to the defender. So he's gonna make a couple plays. It's a rivalry game, it's in the division, like that's expected, but I'm not too worried about Trubisky-led offense at all.
And you probably shouldn't be. Latavius Simmons is their only offensive, and Riley Ridley, their two offensive inactives for Chicago. On the defensive side of the ball, though, the MVP might have a field day. Defensive back Buster Skrine, defensive back Deion Bush, defensive back Jalen Johnson, all inactive for Chicago. Aaron Rodgers might throw for 600 yards tonight.
You'd hate to see it, wouldn't you? I mean, it's just
you'd hate it.
It's terrible. You hate to see a depleted secondary have to go up against Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams this season. It's tough.
He's already had 6 touchdowns in the first half against the Bears before. He might as well just make it 7.
Right. You tie the NFL record in the first half. That would be nothing short of awesome. Now, on the Packers side of things, it looks kind of similar to last week on the injury report. Will Redmond, Jay Sternberger, Simon Stepaniak, Jordan Love, and Kingsley Keke in. Jamal Williams out. Jamal Williams is active. Kingsley Keke in concussion protocol will not play today. But Snacks Harrison has come to town. The Packers signed the former Seahawk this week to clog up the middle a little bit. Do we have any expectations? And we'll get to a little bit more on Snacks here when we play over-under. But do we have any high expectations for Snacks, or is it just let's see what he can do in a couple of plays?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't have high expectations for him. Let's just get him in there, a couple plays, get him kind of used to playing against some of our other defensive linemen, and let's save him, get him a bye week, and then come strong in the playoffs. Be nice to see him though. I did not think this was going to happen, and I am pitching a tent just thinking about it.
Jesus, 5 months, 5 months, a little bit later than maybe we expected. But Todd, what about you on the Snacks thing?
I'm on the same. I mean, I've got more expectations for him to the playoffs. I think that's where he's really going to step up and be key for us. Just looking at some of the teams from the NFC that are going to get in there, Rojo just scored another touchdown. We know what Tampa Bay can do, what they've done to us earlier this year. So I think having another guy in there to stop the run, help out with Kenny Clark up front is going to be big. Today, I think it is just kind of get in there, get your feet wet, and see what you can do.
Yeah, like I said, we'll get more to Snacks Harrison himself in a little bit, but I'm glad Lambo asked the question because this was my follow-up. What is the go-to game day snack for you guys, or what is on the platter today for you guys?
Todd, I'm excited to hear if you have any more meat sweats coming.
No, I got those out of my system this week, and I'm done with the meat sweats for a while. I had some giant ribeyes though New Year's Eve that my buddies and I cooked up. They were fantastic. We legitimately, none of us finished it. I don't think any of us got more than halfway through it. And I played it off that I was watching the dog out in the yard run around a little bit. It's a fenced-in yard. The dog wasn't going anywhere, guys. I was dying. The meat sweats were in full force. So finished it up yesterday for breakfast. I'm good. I'm off the meat sweats now for a while.
Good for you. But what's on the menu today?
Pizza. I got pizza coming.
What kind of pizza? I just got into a huge argument.
I'm just going straight up pepperoni, I think. I don't know. I told my mom to order me a pizza. I just say pizza.
Mom!
Don't dig in.
Where's the pizza?
Let's go.
Mom! Jimmy, what about you? What's on the platter today?
For that. She told me no more yelling in the house.
Unfortunately, I'm like Todd. I went to Papa Murphy's today and picked up a couple pizzas. So
that's the take and bake, right?
Yeah, the take and bake.
Nice. I've got chili cheese dogs in the crock pot right now. Ooh. That's the direction I'm going. So expect heartburn post game when I revisit with all of you. But let's get into over-unders because I think this is always fun. I got quite a few this week. I went a little overboard, so let's have some fun. So over-under the amount of times it is mentioned in the broadcast that Trubisky was drafted ahead of Patrick Mahomes. 3.5 is the line.
I'm going to take the under. I feel like 3. I feel like 3 is about standard for him at this point. It's one of those things that everyone understands. They're going to have one graphic that'll be a comparison. Then I think probably 2 other mentions of it throughout the game. as they just show highlights from those games.
I'm gonna go. Oh, you picked a great number for this too.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna go over on this one. I think they're gonna.
Okay.
I think you'll hear a couple times them going like, "Oh, his career started off rough, but now maybe he's showing why they picked him over Mahomes." So now that he had like 2 good games.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he's able to carry it in to this week. But I will also take the over. I think just briefly over. It depends on what game he has, right? If he has a horrible, shitty game, they're going to bring it up 100 times because they love to mock Mitch Trubisky. As do I. I love mocking Mitch Trubisky. So I will take the over. I'll go with once a quarter. I think that's a fair gamble. We had the same line last week for this one, but I'd like to bring it up again. We mentioned David Bakhtiari, the all-pro left tackle for the Packers, out for the season. Torn ACL this week in practice. So the blind side's going to have some shuffling around going on. Rodgers only sacked once against Tennessee last week. The week prior, sacked 5 times. So we keep the line the same. 2.5 times Rodgers sacked against the Bears defense. Of course, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks is active this week. What do we think? 2.5.
I'm gonna hit over again on this one, mainly because Hicks is back, and I know he might not be. Just whenever you bring a dynamic player like that on the defensive line, it just gives an offensive line who's missing their best player another thing to worry about. So I'll go over. I don't think it's going to be a game where they completely wreck Rodgers, but 3, maybe 4 sacks if they're lucky.
Sure.
Under. Absolutely. I tweeted out the other day, Khalil Mack just went through the entire calendar years of 2019 and 2020 without sacking Aaron Rodgers. They gave up a ton of draft capital to bring him in and to disrupt Aaron Rodgers, and he hasn't done it. I mean, 18, sure, he came in with a bang, but other than that, he's not doing much. And it's also going to be hard to get 2.5 sacks in there because I swear to God, Dull Geek was in my brain earlier today. Rodgers is only playing 3 quarters today. We're going to be up big. We're going to get some Timmy Boyle in the 4th quarter.
I certainly hope so. Would love to see Tim Boyle hucking that pigskin around. I'm going to go under with you, Todd. I think he gets sacked twice. And I'm kind of with the one dull geek here chiming in on the YouTube chat. He says Rodgers sacks over, but it won't matter. And Aaron says under. So keep playing along with us in the live chats on Periscope, Facebook, or YouTube. We got a few left, but would love for all of you to chime in. I think this is a tough one. Vegas set this one. This was not me. Over under Trubisky passing yards. It's at 249.5. So do we get a 250 plus game from Mitchell Trubisky, the Chicago Bears starting quarterback? Whoever wants to take it first, have at it.
Todd, I'll let you go this time.
Oh, I appreciate that, Jimmy. You're such a gentleman. I'm going to go with the under. I have no confidence in Mitch Trubisky to do anything with his life.
That's fair.
Under.
That's fair. Just a number 2 overall draft pick. He'll never do anything in his life. You're right, Todd. Yell the mom about the pizza game while you're at
it. Sorry, I just caught what you said. All right, I'm gonna go with over for the reason of I think the Packers are gonna hop into a big lead. Pettin's gonna go into his favorite prevent defense by like the 2nd quarter, and Trubisky's just gonna get a lot of garbage yards that aren't really gonna matter because we have a solid lead.
I'm going to take the over as well. Jimmy, we're hitting on all cylinders today, baby. Look at us. I will go with over just an inch over. I think he gets in the 250s, 260s, but I'm with you. I think you get into that kind of cruise mode at the end of the game, the 4th quarter, where the Packers have a big lead, and they kind of cruise into the garbage time defense, and Trubisky will eat up in the box score a little bit in the 4th quarter. I will take a slight over at 249.5. Over under the amount of times you say out loud, I miss David Bakhtiari. 6.5 is the line for this one. I feel like it's going to come out quite a bit. I'll probably take the over right from the get-go.
I've already said it at least over 6.5 times today. So I hit over on all the other ones. I might as well go over on this one too. I'm definitely going to be saying it way more. Even if we don't even allow a sack, I'll just say it because I know we're going to miss him. Yeah. I do miss him.
I'm going to take the under. I think our line isn't going to be, putting us in the position that we have to go. I miss Bakhtiari. We all do. We all know that. He's watching right now. Dave, best of luck.
Dave, good to see you.
Hope everything goes well for you, man. as a fellow survivor of an ACL injury myself, call me. You need any tips on the
Stop. Hold on. Wait. Tell the story. What happened? I didn't know this about you.
Oh yeah. Back in 03, your boy playing quarterback.
You were QB, huh?
Oh, shit. You said you were the punter.
You can't tell that this is the body of a fucking quarterback?
Well, no, I can't tell. No, that's
fair. No, that's fair. I was about 100 pounds lighter than. No, non-contact. I was too athletic for my own tendons.
Just a freaking ass.
Went to make a cut, and that was all she wrote. Playing at Camp Randall, though, that's always fun. Laying on the turf in the first quarter of a really nice stadium.
So was that a state title game, or did you just have like an exhibition game there?
Yeah, it was a conference game that we were playing there.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, good for you. I didn't know Todd Varney was a quarterback. Over under how many people believe he was a quarterback is set at 1.5. Okay,
we ran the ball a lot, like double tight, double wing.
Yeah. You didn't have an arm comparable to Josh Allen, I imagine.
Well, I could sling it, but
okay, Uncle Rico, I see you.
Yeah, so we'd always put in like a shotgun package that we would never actually run in a play or in a game, but we would always have it there and then get yelled at because like we weren't operating it correctly. And then we'd be like, hey, maybe we should run some of those passing plays, huh? And be like, nah, just keep handing it off. We're going to get it.
So you were the punter too at one point, weren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I did it all.
So you were the quarterback, punt. What'd you play on defense?
Safety.
Get the fuck out of here. You were on offense, defense, and special teams.
Todd's an athlete. What are you talking about?
200 people in my school. What do you want?
We just got a bunch of athletes on this show. Bunch of athletes on this show. There's Jimmy.
I don't know why that's still in the.
It'll never die. It'll never die. Yeah, that is my precious overlay. That's my favorite one. Over under on Snacks Harrison. How many snaps we see him defensively? I put it at 8.5. That might be low. That might be high. Interested to hear what you think.
I'm gonna. This is my first under. I think he'll just a smidge under that. I think we also activated Price from practice squad too, right? So I think he's been with us a little bit longer. I could see him getting in there with Kingsley Keke being out. I just expect a little bit more Dean Lowry, Tyler Lancaster, and Keke's absence. But I think we'll see him in there probably like 6-7 times. I think we'll get close to it, but I don't think it'll go over.
If I want anybody on my side in a bar fight, I think it's Tyler Lancaster. That's a beast of a man. Like Todd might come in second, but I want Tyler Lancaster on my side. Of course, yeah. You're an athlete. We learned that today. 8.5. I'll go over here. I think I'll steal the word smidge. I think it'll be just a smidge over, but they'll get him in there for some solid reps, especially I'm thinking late if they have the big lead that we all think. Todd, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm with you. I'm gonna stick with the word smidge on this one. I was thinking probably around 10 snaps. I'm gonna stick there and go over. I don't think we're gonna see an abundance of him, but just again enough to get his feet wet, get out there, get a feel for it.
All right, last one, and then we'll dive into some other headlines. We'll go around the NFL in a second. Over under the Packers win by 1,700,642.5 is the line. Over under. That's how much the Packers win by.
Oh, that's a tough.
I said I was feeling confident, like overly confident, but I'm gonna take the under.
Okay.
I hate that too. I hate life's too short to bet the under, but that's
a big line. It's a big line.
Take the under on that one. Where the hell did that number come from?
My ass is the answer.
Especially since this number came out of your ass, I'm gonna go under. Okay. I don't trust anything out of there, so.
Yeah. Well, you guys say you're so confident. I think I'm the only confident one. I'm taking the over. The Packers are winning by at least 1.8 million points today. Aaron Rodgers is throwing 724 touchdowns. It's like 700,000 yards. It's going to be awesome. So I'll take the over on that random number. But Packers-Bears, about 40 minutes away. That's math. From kickoff at Soldier Field. Todd Varney alongside me, beneath me, Jimmy Christensen. Hi, I'm Alex Schroe. Let's take a trip around the NFL, your noon kickoff scores. Now, the Bills went into their game at home against the Dolphins as underdogs. If you bet the Bills, you're probably feeling pretty good with under 12 minutes to go as they lead the Dolphins 49-13, just a couple minutes into the fourth quarter. The Bills are scary, legitimate threat for the Super Bowl, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're the team right now that scares me the most, I think, out of the AFC. I mean, you know what the Chiefs can do. There's just something about the way the Bills and their attitude haven't been there, just coming in. They don't know how good they are, I think, which it's always scary when you have a team that doesn't understand how good they are and where they're at.
Totally fair. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying I'm all on board for a Bills-Packers Super Bowl. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I love watching Josh Allen play. That man is great. Like, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, ridiculous talent besides Rodgers, but Josh Allen's right up there right now. The way he's been playing and just the amount of power he has in that arm is just ridiculous to watch.
Totally. And, definitely going to be one of the top three finalists for the MVP award alongside Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Will Josh Allen be? And in his third year, man, he has really lightened it up. Been super impressed with his ability this year, and to put up 49 points with 12 minutes remaining in a game against not only a division rival, but a playoff team in the likely playoff team. Actually, I think those chances are falling because the AFC is so good. The Dolphins are going to finish 10-6 and might not make it. But a team that was looking not to go 10-6 and get in is the Baltimore Ravens. They've got themselves a big lead as well against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Ravens with just over 4 minutes left, up 38-3 on the Bengals. That is not a pretty game in the AFC. So the Ravens looking like they will get in to the playoffs. They scared us there a few weeks back. They were on the outside looking in. But a team as good as Baltimore, if they get in, watch out.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, he's one season off his MVP campaign.
Right.
I saw I think it was a stat on Twitter that said he's like 45 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the red zone. So in the most important spot of the field, he's almost unstoppable during his career. So that's a team. If they get rolling, you never know what's going to happen. So
I'm with you.
Opposite of the Bills, they're a team that does know how good they are. And they've made, made it to the playoffs before. They've got a good, competent quarterback. They run the ball well. They can play defense. They could be a team as well once they get in. If they get in, that they can take care of business.
A lot of good teams in the AFC. Elsewhere in the AFC North, the Steelers and the Browns in a little bit of a shootout. The Steelers have the ball on its first down. They were down by 8 points, though. The Browns lead 24-16, under 4 minutes left in that one. In the NFC North, another shootout. The Vikings lead the Lions by 8 in a high-scoring affair, 37-29. Who knew these teams could turn it on like this, man?
Hey, real quick, what are the Vikings playing for today? Do they have a chance to get in yet?
No.
Good. Just wanted to remind people of that.
No, that game does not matter at all.
0. Yep. No. But good job to them. Way to show up and play, guys. Nice job.
Way to show up and play. The Lions just had a touchdown pass of 38 yards from Stafford to Marvin Jones reversed, which would have put them within 2 points. So we'll keep an eye on that one throughout. The Jets trailing the Patriots, shocker here, 28-14, under 7 minutes to go. In the NFC East, man, there's still 3 teams that can win this division. The Giants and the Cowboys, each one of them. The Giants at 5-10 lead the 6-9 Cowboys by a point. It's 20-19. Just under 11 minutes remain in that one. Still anybody's ball game. The NFC East, man, I don't know if I want to say that's a good game or if that's a shitty game. I don't know what to call it.
No one does at this point. It's a cluster.
It's a cluster. It's a cluster.
So the report came out
that
today.
Somebody has to win that.
Yeah, it is, really. I mean, hopefully Washington can get it done tonight as Alex Smith is back in rotation. And if they win, they're in against Philadelphia. But whoever wins this game's cheering for Philadelphia to get it done. Jimmy, you were going to say something.
Yeah, so reports came out today. Carson Wentz is going to ask for a trade during this offseason. What team do you think is going to trade for Carson Wentz? The cap's high. He played terrible this year.
Bears.
Sign Trubisky, keep Nick Foles, and then trade for Carson Wentz.
Is there a possibility the Jets go for him?
No, I know.
And they don't spend that number 2 pick on somebody like Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
Another thing Schefter tweeted out today was that they're going to make big trades this offseason. They don't know they're unsure if it's Sam Darnold being traded or trade away that number 2 pick. So I don't think Wentz could be a possibility for them though.
I'm just throwing out a name of a team that I know needs a quarterback. I don't know where else he would go. I don't think he'd stay in the division. Washington might be on the search. We don't know what Dak Prescott's going to do, so Dallas might be on the search for quarterback. Andy Dalton not looking like the guy today.
Colts is the big one they're connecting them to.
Colts, Colts makes a lot of sense if Phillip Rivers. Well, he's on a 1-year deal anyway, but if he calls it quits and they don't re-sign him.
Could be the Lions, depending on what they do with Stafford. I don't know if Stafford will be back in Detroit next year. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they get rid of him if they want to bring in, a guy with a high price tag, but could be.
Also, they're going to have to restructure that before they deal him, I think.
Yeah. Quick update from Mom. She kept it simple for me and just went with pepperoni.
Okay. That's always a win, though. That's always a W in the book. Last game that's live right now, the Bucks on top of the Falcons, 37-27, looking like they'll win that one under 4 minutes to go. The Bucks are good, man. I mean, it's a team that obviously gave the Packers one of their 3 losses this year. They're in the playoffs. They're a good team. And I know you mentioned them earlier with Rojo, Jimmy, and their ability to run the ball, but also, of course, they have Tom Brady, the GOAT, under center. So definitely a team that can do a lot of things well.
What's the word on Mike Evans? I know he was out with the knee injury, but is this something that's looking like it could take – I never wish injury on anybody, but if he wants to wait until after the possibility of a Packer game to come back, that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine with me too. I have not seen any word on him. I don't think he ever returned, but again, I could be wrong in that I don't have a game on in front of me. So if anybody knows, pop it in a live chat. Would love an update from one of our reliable family members out there rocking with us.
From somebody that knows something about the game of football.
Right. Somebody that knows a hell of a lot more than all 3 of us combined. Because
it said he was ruled out. It just, I don't know how serious if they said potential multiple games. So anyone except Kyle, because I see he's in the comments, but I don't trust anything you say.
Yeah, right. No, that's correct. I'm with you there.
Other than you having bad pizza takes, Alex, I trust Kyle.
Yeah, why do you have bad pizza takes?
Okay, so we got into this big debate on Twitter today, right? He tweeted that he got Papa John's and nothing out pizzas the Hut, meaning Pizza Hut. I said Papa John's is way better than Pizza Hut. And that spewed 18 other people to get involved and tell me how either wrong or right I am, wrong or right Kyle is, wrong or right Zach Jacobson. I mean, there was 100 people in this chat talking about pizza. But Papa John's, good or bad? I'm going to need your takes on this.
I do enjoy Papa John's. However, I need to know, were you and Zach Jacobson on the same side? Because he's got awful food takes.
Well,
so
you
never want to be on the same side of a food take as Zach.
I don't even know what side he ended up landing on. I stand for myself, Todd. I'm an independent man.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm not going to pick between Pizza Hut and Papa John's because I'm a grown man and I don't have to make that decision. But I do enjoy both.
Okay. All right. Jimmy, Papa John's, good or bad?
It's good. I'm not a big Pizza Hut person, so I'm going to go with Papa John's over Pizza Hut.
All right. Good call. Elsewhere in the NFL today, the other 325 games, of course, that's the slot the Packers and the Bears fall into. Looks like this. All division games today. Raiders at the Broncos, meaningless. Jaguars at the Colts. The Colts can improve their playoff position, I believe, with a win there. Chargers at the Chiefs. The Chiefs benched everybody. Chargers are 7-point favorites, which kind of like the Bills thing. I still trust Chad Henne to beat the Chargers, but that's just me. Cardinals at the Rams. Now, this is an important one because I think with a win, the Cardinals are in, and the Rams, I think, are already in. I really should have brushed up on my playoff info. Do you guys – I know there's a bunch of implications in that one, so that's one to keep an eye on. Cardinals and Rams. Seahawks at the Niners. Of course, the Seahawks somehow can still get the 1 seed. A lot of things need to go their way, but with a win, they can improve their playoff spot. Same with the Saints at 11-4. They visit the Panthers, who are out of contention. The Titans go to the Texans, again, just to try to win the AFC South. That division's still up for grabs. And then your Sunday night game, as mentioned, Washington goes to Philly to take on the Eagles. With a win, Washington wins the NFC East. So, fun day. DeAndre Swift just scored a touchdown. It is 37-35 between the Vikings and the Lions. Seriously, a shootout between those two teams who are playing for Jack Squat. Not a damn thing.
Pittsburgh's in the red zone too. 8 points behind Cleveland.
Oh man, we've got
Yeah,
some
they got
good
second and goal from the 10.
I see that. So we'll see. We'll see. But that is your Around the NFL update brought to you by Todd's mother's pizza delivery man.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, the delivery man is who that's brought to you by. Yeah.
Well, that's my stepdad. He's going to pick it up for me.
Oh, shut up.
I live in a town of 1,000 people. You think we have delivery here? Get out of beat it.
I had high hopes. I had high hopes. All right. 30 minutes into this. Appreciate you rocking with us. What's on your mind surrounding the Packers and the Bears? What is the one thing you're looking forward to? Pop it in the live chat. We'll feature some of those comments. Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope/Twitter. What is the one storyline you're looking forward to? Todd, I know you wrote an article about some of the storylines that you're looking forward to. One in particular I want to ask you about is Davante Adams versus history.
I think he does it. I mean, this was going to be my take for the day, but I think Davante is going to have a big day again with that defensive secondary being depleted.
What does he need again? He needs like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and
192, and he's only went over that once in his career. It was week 7 against the Texans. He went for 196. I think he goes over 200 today. I think he grabs 3 touchdowns and takes that record easily. And he's like 4 catches. That's done in the first quarter.
Yeah, I know the receptions was low. That's probably done early, but the rest of them, obviously, that's gonna take all game. You think he gets 192 then?
Yeah, I think he goes over 200 today.
Nice. I like to hear that. Jimmy, where are you at?
3 quarters.
In 3 quarters. Yeah, I mean, I doubt we're going to see him in the 4th, right? So you're really just expecting a total onslaught from this Packers offense today, Toddy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that take. Jimmy, where are you at on Davante? Needs 192 yards to break Don Hudson's record. Is that correct?
Looking at Todd.
Jordy's.
Okay. It's Jordy's record, 192 yards.
Jordy's got the yardage, and Sterling Sharp has receptions and
touchdowns. Yeah.
The yard. I'm with you guys. I don't think we're going to see them much in the 4th quarter, if at all. Granted, all the numbers he put up this season, he did with only playing like 12 and a half games. So who knows? He can do a lot in only 3 quarters. The man's a monster. But I just think since we're not going to see him much today, I don't think he's going to get to 192 yards.
That's fair.
Touchdown
Steelers. All right. If they make the 2-point conversion, you let me know, Toddy. You stay on top of that.
I'm on it.
What a champ. What a gem. What a great addition to this show you've been.
For the team.
Yeah, there we go. What a great addition Todd's been. I'm Alex Strofe. That's Todd Varney. It's Jimmy Christensen. Got a little bit of show left. I think we see Timmy B or J-Lo in the 4th in the event of a blowout. Well, J-Lo is inactive, so we will not see Jordan Love, which is unfortunate. But Timmy B, I definitely think we'll see him in the 4th quarter. Even no matter what, right? I think even if the Packers are down, we probably see. Well, maybe not if they're down, but if it's a close game, I think you'll be surprised when LaFleur turns to Tim Boyle. I don't think
no good on the 2-point.
So Browns lead by 2.
Yep.
Browns still lead by 2. They're looking to improve their playoff position and obviously solidify a spot in the AFC. But I think, go ahead, Jimmy.
I have a quick question for this game we're about to encounter.
Yes.
After last week's kind of breakout game with A.J. Dillon, we have Jamal coming back this week. What do you think the running back carries? What do you think the split's going to be like? Do you think it's going to go back to before Jamal had to miss a game and it's just mainly Williams and Jones, or do you think it's going to be mainly Jones and Dillon?
I think you'll see all 3. We know Jamal Williams' strength, obviously, his pass protection. He's a great blocker. I think you'll remain to see him in some of those situations. But your A.J. Dillon stock is going up, baby. You're going to see. I think he'll have more carries than Jamal Williams. I do personally.
I don't. If you watched Aaron on Pat McAfee this week, sorry, I was watching dancing happening. Aaron Rodgers kind of said last week surprised him. He wasn't even sure going into that, even without Jamal, how many carries and how much they were actually going to play A.J. Dillon. And I think this week coming into it, again, they said in the past, AJ's got to show them the right things in practice in order to get that time. We might see a lot of him in the 4th quarter again, as we were talking about. If it's a blowout, I expect to see quite a bit of him. But I think if if it's, a healthy backfield all around, he hasn't really done much to, unseat either of those guys. And especially
he hasn't done much. He had one of the best games of a Packer running back last week, all year.
For a game, but you have to see this stuff in practice. If they're going to be throwing the ball like they want to, like I would assume they want to help get Devontae that record, I don't think you're going to see it there.
Okay, fair. I'm good with that. I mean, I do not preach, facts all the time. Jimmy, did you voice your opinion on this?
I really don't know. That's why I kind of asked. That's one that I'm just
kind of where I'm at too. Yeah.
I think, like you said, we're going to see Jamal, especially in a lot of pass protection with Bakhtiari being out there. We are facing Khalil Mack. They have Hicks. It's a solid defensive line. We're going to see Jamal out there. And he's arguably the best passing or receiving back out of the three. Dylan still is improving in that area. Jones has some sparks, but most consistently when it's a passing situation, they do go to, even in the receiving end, they go to Williams. So I think we'll see him there. But I think it's finally now to the point where if we get to those 3rd and 1s or even 4th and 1s, everyone's been asking for A.J. Dillon. We saw what he could do last week. I think we finally start getting a little bit more in those short yardage situations. So I think someone in the chat put a three-headed running back rotation. So I could see that. I still think Jones will get the most carries, but I think Williams and Dillon's carries could be pretty split.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I think Todd is confident in the fact that last week was kind of just a next man up situation, and he'll stumble back into the 3rd spot. That's where you're at, Todd.
Yeah, and they've said it throughout the season. They need to see AJ really grasp the offense better, the pass protections and some of the routes and stuff like that. So until they see that from him, I don't think they're going to take snaps away from Jones or Williams if they're both able to go. Sure.
We're talking about some of the things you're looking forward to in this week 17 matchup between the Packers and the Bears. Feel free to chime in on the YouTube chat, Periscope chat, or if you're rocking with us on Facebook Live, you can chime in there as well. What is the headline you're looking forward to the most? And I'm with you, Jimmy. I think that running back situation is very interesting. Of course, how they step up and replace David Bakhtiari, another big one as he was lost for the season this week. I mean, I know you guys talked about it a little bit already. I've talked about it on some platforms already, but what a devastating blow that is. I mean, the offensive line group has probably been the best position group aside from quarterback for the Packers this year. So the versatility, the flexibility of that offensive line room, we know it's solid. We know they preach that next man up mentality, and they'll probably be okay, right? But it's still D-Bach. It's still one of the best, if not the best offensive lineman in football. It's a tough blow, especially on Rodgers' blind side.
Yeah, it's a huge loss. And we played 3 games without him. Like we're capable of doing it, but you never want your best player in a position group to be out. Next man up mentality is great to have, but you never actually want to have to do that. Sucks. And he's such a lovable person too. He signs an extension. He's a fan favorite and an incredible player. It sucks.
But Elton Jenkins at left tackle, got to be confident with that, right, Todd?
Absolutely. I mean, Jenkins has proven he can go anywhere on the field and play. Andy Dalton is running all over Washington right now. 4th and 1, naked bootleg, got the first, just tucked it and ran up the middle. He's going to save Mike McCarthy's career. It's insane. First down for the Browns. They should be able to run the clock out now as well.
There you go.
So what you might have said this, I'm not gonna lie, I was reading things in the comments. What's the starting lineup for the Packers today then?
On the offensive line, it goes Elton Jenkins at left tackle, Lucas Patrick at left guard, Corey Linsley at center, of course, Billy Turner at right guard, Rick Wagner at right tackle.
Okay.
Lucas Patrick at left guard. I might go back and take the over in 2.5.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy, but we'll see. I hope he holds up. I hope he plays great. I know, as we all do. But
are you surprised of them going Jenkins at left tackle over Billy Turner?
I was a little bit. I expected him to stay put at left guard, but that's the flexibility and the versatility I was alluding to earlier, right? I mean, we've seen that guy play every position on the offensive line this year. I'm confident wherever they put him, and if they think he's more, if he is more important at left tackle than his original left guard, I'm not going to doubt that decision.
And they could be keeping Billy Turner, who hasn't played at a high level, on the right side, just because that is where Khalil Mack usually will be. So having him and Wagner on that side rather than Patrick and Wagner could just solidify that up a little bit more. So it might not be Jenkins is much better at left tackle, but they just need Turner over by Wagner to help with Mack.
Well, Aaron mentions this in our chat, and I've got to throw out this stat because it's kind of mind-boggling. The Browns are going to the playoffs for the first time since 2002. It's been, it's 2021 technically. So 19 years, 18 years, however you want to look at it. That is nuts. That's a long time for the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield and company heading to the AFC playoffs. We'll see how well they do. Probably a first-round exit, but nonetheless, they got there. That's good for the Browns. But the AFC playoffs is going to be a lot of fun.
When was the last time Buffalo made it? Wasn't that like the 90s?
Yeah, I think it was
and Miami is looking like they're going to be.
Yeah. I think they're actually falling out because they're going to lose to Buffalo, and I don't think they're going to get in. Is how that works.
Well, what if because I know they'll be 10-6, and the Colts, if they lose today, are 10-6.
So it'll be 10-6. The 7 seed is the Browns. They're now 11-5.
Yeah.
And who else is on their way or looking to get in the AFC? Yeah, the Colts. If the Colts win, they are in.
56 points. Buffalo put 56.
Yeah, they hung 56 on Miami.
Again.
I didn't even think they were going to play their starters before.
They're not.
Yeah, they want the 2 seed. They're not anymore, but they did obviously start the game. They want the 2 seed, and understandably so. They want that 2 seed. They don't want to see Mahomes and company until the AFC Championship, and they guarantee that. With the 2 seed pretty much, as long as they can, of course, win their first 2 matchups. Now, a 7-team playoff picture in each conference, unlike any other year. The 2 seed doesn't get a bye this year. They instead get the 7 seed, the new playoff spot. Right now, that would be Miami, but again, with a win, that would be Indianapolis later today. So lots of things to keep an eye on, both in the AFC and the NFC. The Bears, like I said, with a win, they are in. With a loss, they're then at 8-8. So that allows for Arizona with a win to get in. There's all sorts of scenarios that change the outcome, but the Bears need a win to get in, and I don't think any of us think they're going to get there. We'll get to our game picks here in a second, but let's get into my favorite segment every week. Mine was half true last week, and that is our bold predictions. Todd, I know you're probably thinking up something super genius, so I'm going to let you lead off.
I already put it out there. You baited me into it earlier with Devontae. So make Jimmy go first and let me think up something else crazy that's going to happen today.
All right, Jimmy, go ahead.
All right. This man has been silent for like 4 out of 5 games. I think this is where MVS kind of makes his reappearance. He's had a few games now with 0 catches, 0 yards. I think he's going to have a big game, a big catch down the sideline. I'm going to say MVS over 100 yards and a touchdown today.
Wow. Okay. A little reemergence for number 83, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's been, it's been a roller coaster ride with him all season. You had the drops, you had the Mark Daniels situation a couple of months back. You've got all sorts of stuff with MVS. But yeah, I like that pick. Reemergence, 100 yards and a touchdown. That's good. That's a good bold prediction. I like that, Jimmy. We were talking about the 3-headed monster in the backfield. I'm going to say 2 of the 3 running backs, A.J. Dillon, Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, get into the end zone today. I'm going to cower it out and not name which 2 get into the end zone. But I'm going to say 2 of the 3 running backs score a touchdown for Green Bay today. Todd, you got anything earth-shaking, earth-shattering over there?
Kevin King, pick 6.
Oh. Defensive touchdown.
We know Mitch doesn't throw that side of the field very well. Kevin's been, up and down injuries again this year. Obviously, the story of that guy's career so far, unfortunately. But I think he steps up and goes and gets one today.
I like that.
I would like to see that.
I would like to see everything we just mentioned, and in some alternative universe, all 4 of those really are going to happen. Let's do it. Let's hear the score predictions. The spread that I made. I said they win by over 1.7 million. I'll probably reel that in a little bit here in a second. Todd, I know you're going Green Bay. I know you're probably leaning a blowout. What's the score going to look like?
Real quick, Miami just scored 26-56. Don't call it a comeback. All 3 minutes left to go. They could still have some hope here. I think it might be a little bit closer today, but not much. I'm going to let's call it 42-17 Packers.
42-17. That's a blowout indeed.
You know what's fun is they've been talking about how the Bears have scored 30 points in the last 4 games, right? The Packers have 4 games all year that they have not scored 30 points. What? I'm not impressed with this offense, guys. Sit down, shut up. We might let you get 17. We're just going to do our thing and get the hell out of that.
Yeah. Jimmy.
I was going to go 42, but now that he took that one, I'll just up it. I'll go 45-24. 45-24 Packers.
Oh man, that's good. Another blowout prediction. I'll probably have to follow that out with one of my own. However, the Cowboys have the ball. Down by 4.
No, they don't. They just threw an interception in the end zone.
Oh no! So the Cowboys lose. There you go. So Washington controls their own destiny tonight against Philadelphia, then for that 4 seed in the NFC. Sit down, shut up, and watch the Packers work. Right, Toddy? That's what we're going to be watching here in about 20 minutes. As Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go.
I think Aaron Rodgers already solidified the MVP race, but he's going to put, priority shipping on that trophy with a big game today. He's going to have 4 touchdowns, I think, through the air, and plenty of yards, no interceptions, a perfect game from Aaron Rodgers. Packers in the 40s. I'm with you, boys. 45. Bears. Yeah. You never give the opponent enough credit. Bears 28. 45-28. Packers still win handedly. They cover and they get the W. You think I'm giving the Bears too much credit, Todd? You didn't like the 28.
Way too much credit. What did the number 1 scoring offense in the league do last week?
Yeah, that's fair. In the middle of a snowstorm, only put up 14.
Yeah.
I could see us polling our starter. Last week, getting to poll people. I could see us polling people this game.
And that's how they'll get to 17.
That's how That's Todd Barney. It's Jimmy Christensen. I'm Alex Stroh. Thanks for stopping by. And I think we can all sing this one together. You know the words. Ready, boys?
Still.
The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.